Today I want to talk about the performance of the P99 and how it is at 4,000 rounds and really how it changed and how some of my opinions of it changed. Now, the funny thing is that a lot of people still are referring to the P99 and the PPQ as being, completely different pistols when in fact the PPQ, it's just an American nomenclature to give it marketing appeal, because the PPQ in Europe is the P99. It is. It says P99 on the pistol, but it's just got a different trigger. It's an updated P99. It's a different variant. So this pistol, basically in Europe now, kind of looks like the PPQ in the grip section and stuff like that. And if you look really hard at this pistol, you'll see that they're the same in the grip as the PPQ. Okay? Alright. That's why you can interchange slides and stuff. It is the same pistol. It's just a different trigger variant. Okay? Alright, good. So, first thing I want to talk about is the sights on the P99. So, I don't like that these are polymer. It's the same on the PPQ. But here's the thing. The polymer has done very well. It has lasted phenomenally. You would almost not even know that it was polymer. As far as I know, I have not scraped these things up. As you can see here, this is the front sight, and these sights are actually quite easy to change out. You push a pin, you unscrew the other side underneath the slide here, and you can replace these sights very easily. I like that. Now with the rear sight, of course, it is adjustable. You can adjust for windage, and you can replace the front sight for elevation. But I have not scratched these up. No matter how many times I have racked these sights off of my belt or off my holster or whatever, the polymer is solid, and I believe it's the same material as the frame. Very sturdy material. Now in the future I am looking at replacing the sights on the P99, but for now, it's just going to have to stay as is until it takes on a more serious role. Now the next thing I want to talk about is the controls. Now, I like the controls the way they are. I don't need ambidextrous controls because I am right-handed. Some people might want ambidextrous controls, and that's fine. That's to each their own, but most of the time left-handers have to deal with right-hand guns anyways in training, so I don't hear that many left-handed people saying, yeah, we need this gun to be left-hand friendly. You got a magazine that's you got a magazine release that's ambidextrous, so I like it. I like how extended this control is. I also like that the slide stop can function as a slide release if you wish, because I am starting to use my support hand a lot more as far as releasing the slide stop or slide release, if the design can allow that, if you will. The decocker, I use my support hand thumb to actuate the decocker. I do not use my firing hand thumb. It's pointless. You have to change your grip anyways. And here's the thing. I can, take my hand off of firing grip anyways if I wished to actuate the decocker, because when do you decock the pistol? Do you decock it between every shot when you're actually using the pistol to defend yourself? No, you don't. You decock it on its way to the holster. There you go. So the controls on the P99 are very simple to use, very easy, and I like how they are set up. When you start using this pistol seriously, these controls almost seem ideal. They're out of the way, they're low profile, the decocker is flush with the slide. The slide stop, it protrudes just enough to be useful as a slide release, and the magazine release is nice and extended, so you don't have to change your grip. Like on HK pistols, like the P30, you have to change your grip. And especially on the P2000 USPs, you have to change your grip in order to get your finger back that far on the grip to release the magazine. For me, I think these controls are ideal, and I wish HK would take note, because I think this magazine release design, being as extended as it is perfecto. As far as wear goes on the pistol, After 4,000 rounds, I have holstered this pistol a lot, and I have shot it, of course, 4,000 rounds. The insides are not seeing very much wear, and I'm going to go ahead and break it down and show you. For example, you have this area in the slide, not much of any wear. For 4,000 rounds, this is pretty good. And this, of course, is the trigger area, the trigger components and everything, firing controls, if you will. So, yeah, not much wear is actually happening here either. So, pretty cool, if I do say so myself. Okay, and here's the wear on the barrel. Not really much to speak of, really. Yeah. Then up top, you got this. And that's really it. There's not much wear on this pistol. Here where the camming block hits, right here, not very much. Still got our polished feed ramp. Still got the little scars from the rust that happened right here on the feed ramp as well. Next thing I want to talk about is the trigger. Now, the trigger is something a lot of people criticize because it's a double action, single action style, or it can be. It's got like 3 different modes. You have the single action, which is really short, kind of like the PPQ, where the PPQ got its nice trigger from, or quote unquote nice trigger. It's got of course it can have the double action component, and then the anti-stress component, which is basically automatic once you load the pistol. So here's the thing. The double action trigger has not really changed much. And what I mean by that is the over travel has not changed much. I still have a considerable amount of over travel. If we look here, bricks. That's a lot of over travel right there. A lot. And I think I know what the culprit is for this over travel. Now if we look here, right here, you can see a little ping on this piece that comes back and holds the striker. Yeah, I believe this is the reason for the trigger over travel. Now in my opinion, I don't think the trigger is going to change much, and it really hasn't changed much since my 2,000 round review. Now, I'm not really convinced that the trigger is going to change much, because the spring in the striker and the spring that's in the firing controls that you saw when I showed you the wear, those are really the only 2 springs that are really going to affect the trigger pull, and then when one of those breaks, I'm going to get a mushy trigger. So, other than that, I don't see very much changing. It's a pretty durable design, very simple. Now the last thing I want to talk about is the recoil. The P99 recoil is, as some people would classify it as being snappy, and I can definitely say that it's more than a lot of other firearms in its class and size. I don't understand why you're getting that much shock. Maybe it's how solid the polymer is. Maybe it's the way they designed the frame. I don't know, but it seems like you get a little bit more of a snap from this pistol. Not like it throws you off target. It actually goes right back on target, like right away. But you just feel a little bit more in the hand. It gives you a little more feedback in the hand than other pistols. But here's something of interest. I noticed the hotter loads tend to not give you as much feedback, if you will. I guess I'll use that as the key word for the shock that you feel in your hand, or the vibration. It feels like it doesn't give you as much feedback with hotter loads like NATO ammo. But maybe that's because this is like a 40 caliber spring in the 9mm. They share the same in the 9 and the 40. Same recoil spring. And speaking of recoil springs, mine is still, bent. As you can see, the heat has warped the spring and it twirls around, and goes in circles, like so. And yeah, just goes wherever. Now the recoil spring guide rod is not a big deal. I just like to brag that I had sort of made it droop from getting it so hot. I'm not sure of if other people have accomplished this or not, but I like to brag about it. Overall, I hope that the P99 is here to stay and that Walther doesn't really get rid of it. The one thing I would be interested in seeing is an updated P99. Not that I would be like, oh, I got to jump out and get one. I'd just like to see what Walther's answer is to the current market as far as wanting to update the ergonomics of the P99 and the controls. I'm pretty sure all it's going to do is look like a PPQ. Ambidextrous controls, the interesting stippling, the new ergonomics, because the ergonomics are a little bit different on the pistols as far as the feel and how secure it feels in the hand and stuff. Personally, I think the P99 holds on a lot better, except for the back of it. Back is terrible, but anyways, that's just my opinion there. But anyways, thanks a lot for watching, and if you're interested in the P99, don't hesitate to get one.